Dan, you've covered this region for a long time. This is a nation that has been through a lot of pain, but when you hear the screams, the urging from an Israeli mom saying, I just want to know that my family is okay, give us an assessment of your take on the feeling on the ground 24 days into this war. We're hearing the reports out of what is happening in the Gaza Strip. We know what the IDF is planning to do, but the temperature on the ground, the Israeli psyche right now.
You know, throughout Israel's history, it suffered terrorist attacks aplenty, but simply never anything like this. So there is such a tremendous contrast between a startup nation and a country whose per capita GDP is higher than Germany's and Britain's, and a little bit of the hubris that I think Israelis were sensing, that the real dangers had passed. And what we saw here, I mean, a monumental massacre, equivalent per capita to 40 or more 9/11s, and the level of barbarism with which it was carried out will mess with your mind. It'll create a level of anger that might affect the intelligence of your reaction as well. Or maybe the reaction doesn't need to be intelligent after something so viscerally insane. It's such thoughts, what to do, such total confusion, such a sense of betrayal by the leadership, or that there is no one to depend on for security, are obviously devastating for the national psyche of a country. I would add, it's a challenge because so many people are so tempted to conclude from this something that sounds like dehumanization of the enemy. I think it's very important that Israelis should remember something that I often am addressing to foreign audiences, which is that there remains an important distinction to be made between the Palestinians and the criminal barbarians called Hamas. I'm not saying they have no political support in Palestine, but you're not going to get anywhere if you don't make that distinction. And I would also address that to Hamas's useful idiots on US campuses, these progressives in the United States who think that standing with Palestine is standing with Hamas. They're wrong, desperately wrong, criminally wrong, and so are those Israelis that think that all Palestinians are Hamas. We need to maintain some humanity, even when inhumanity has been imposed on us.
It's interesting you raise the issue of students, younger people who are more active on social media, because one of the extra shocking aspects of this terror attack on the 7th of October was the fact that Hamas filmed it, and Hamas wanted the world to see the savage attacks that took place. Hamas wanted the evidence to be shown globally, and yet on campuses that you are describing, not all campuses, but the ones that you are alluding to, the sentiment is not outrage about the children who were burnt in front of their parents. It's not outrage about the people who were slaughtered while at a music festival. Why is that? What is your take, very briefly?
There's an element of anti-Semitism. There's an element of anger at Israel's policies against the Palestinians and disinterest in the details of who killed who. And there is the rank stupidity of youth. And the combination of all these things basically is leading to what we see in Gen Z in America. And it really needs to be addressed, because the level of nihilism that is suggested by what we see from what polls suggest is half of the youth in America will lead to very bad things on other fronts as well if left unchallenged and unfixed.